Hi Positive Readers, it's Positive Writer today with another video. And today I'm going to be telling you about all the books that I'm currently reading and how you can get out of a reading slump. Whether it's been a couple weeks, a couple years, a couple months, or just a couple of hours. Just how I got back into a reading slump after almost a year. So I'm really excited to make this because I'm excited to just continue making videos to begin with. I love this channel, and so without further ado, let's get into these books I'm currently reading. And so first off, obviously, I'm reading Raybearer by Jordan. I really hope and pray that I'm saying her name right because it's beautiful. This is a book. This is one of the books that I am reading, and I am adoring it. I love it so much. I'm over 100 pages in. Yeah, I'm over 100 pages in, and it doesn't even feel like it. It's, this has been such a breeze of a book. If you haven't noticed, instead of noting in my phone, how I usually do it, and then reading off the specific paragraphs I've written about the book, I decided to annotate, and not even write anything down, but just just annotate specific parts of the book that meant a lot to me, and I can hardly wait to come on here, for the books that I've been doing this for, and then make these book chats, and then see how they turn out, because I won't have any specific, rules or notes to follow, and so I'll just be kind of rereading the book a bit, I'm excited to see how it's gonna go, but anyway, this is a book I'm currently reading. This is called Raybearer. This book is about a girl named Terasai who lives in this kind of enchanted place, kind of house palace thing, with this woman called the Lady, who is her mom, but it's also just referred to as the Lady for some reason, we don't know. And she has some servants that kind of help her and stuff, but no siblings or anybody else, so she's always kind of longing for this family type of vibe. One day, she's kind of 11 years old or something, her mom sends her off to the big, kingdom palace area, to compete to be one of the prince's 11, which is this group of people who the prince, who later becomes the emperor, they basically are this group of people who are this squad. They're bounded for life squad. If you get picked for this is your life, They all kind of become this big band of siblings that are together until death. And so her mom sends her off to compete in this competition to become this person, and once she sends her off with this message and mission that once she gains the prince's trust, she's supposed to kill him. That's what I knew going in. I refused to continue after that because I was like, oh my gosh, no. And so I think you should just read it off of that because it's been so much more than what I just told you. This is all you need to know because it sounds really interesting, and I know it sounds interesting. But once you get into it, it's so much more than that. This book is everything to me. I really love it. It means so much to me. Just this cover, just this cover means a lot to me. I got it from, I bought this book from Cafe Noir, which is an independent, small business, black-owned bookstore, coffee shop in, I'm pretty sure, Tennessee. So definitely patronize them if you live in Tennessee or passing through or whatever. I bought it offline and they sent it, and it's beautiful. I love it. I love this book. They sent me an actual bookmark that I actually use for this book too, which is nice. Cafe Noir. Let me hold that. It's super nice, super cool. I think it's amazing, and I'm really glad that I got to support them, and that I will continue to support them in the future. But read this book for sure. Black main character, Black Prince. I could chow on this book on any day. I love it, and I think if you love magic, if you love fantasy, if you love if you love found family trope, read it. Read it. Just read it. It's amazing. I am not even done with it. I'm raving about it right now. So when a book chat comes, no one's ready. The next book that I'm reading is called The Cost of Knowing by Brittany Morris. Brittany Morris is a legend. She wrote Slay. Please go read that book because I reviewed her on this channel. I interviewed her. I vlogged the entire experience because it was my first book signing that I got to interview an author at. It was magnificent. It was so cool meeting her. And so please read that book. Anyway, this is her newest novel, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it is. And it's called The Cost of Knowing. And it's about these two brothers, and one of them has the power to when he touches things, he can look in the past and the future of, whatever this object or person is. And so sometimes he can see, so far ahead to their death or something. So they can see, to back to their, childhood. It's a curse to him because he really doesn't like it. Because, sometimes he just wants to chill out, and now he's suddenly seeing your mom die or something. It's, it's a really big source of anxiety for him. But he basically, the conflict starts off, it's funny because I haven't read, really anything yet. I started this months ago, and I put it on this list so I can remind myself to read it because these books I started and got later on. Technically, okay, no, the last book I'm talking about I had longer than this one, so yikes. But the fact of the matter is that I just need to convince myself to continue finishing this book. Obviously, it's all just me and my mindset of, time frames and stuff. But I really just need to read this because I'm really excited. I was excited when she told me about it. Like, she gave me like the inside scoop when I interviewed her, and the fact that it's our book now and I get to read it, like, I need to get on it. But anyway, the conflict starts off when he sees his brother die in the future, and so he's like, oh my gosh, I gotta stop this. And so I'm not even there yet. That's like, you know what I'm saying, that's the blurb, because I'm not even there yet. And so it's amazing. It's a great book, and it's funny because obviously I haven't really read a lot of it, but I've read a considerable. I haven't read anything really, but it's really, really good from what I already have read, which is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? When you read like a couple pages and it's already buzzing, that is a good book. And so I'm super excited to finish this. You know, I'm just super excited. You know, look at these kings on the front. You know, I love Black people. Anyway, though, it's like time. It reminds me of like Life is Strange or something. Like, if you like any of that type of stuff, honestly, like, you know, kind of fantastical elements in a normal environment, read this. Like, just read it. It's, you know, brothers, read it. Like, I'm really excited to continue. And the final book that I'm reading right now, actually, I'm reading another one. I'll leave that one be because this is just getting out of hand. But anyway, hopefully I'll be able to take these books off the list soon, you know, by making this video, and I won't have so many currently readings anymore, and I'll have actual finished books. But anyway, last book I'm reading is The Children of Virtue and Vengeance, which is the second book to The Children of Blood and Bone. I'm not sure if it's going to be a series or trilogy or whatever. But anyway, it's the second book. Can we just get on this cover? Like, whoa, like, it's so pretty. Wow. I love Zeely. Wow. If you can see, I actually read 242 pages of this entire book, last year. And then didn't pick it up for so long that not only did I didn't really forget everything, but I was just like, what in the, like, this is just so out of pocket. And so I started over. I forgot what page I'm at now, but it's bussing, obviously. I actually read I restarted it in the bath, which is super cool because I haven't read in the bath in a minute, so that was really cozy. But anyway, yeah, and I started to annotate, just like on Raybearer because it was so recent, and so I'm really excited to continue. I mean, I obviously have read so far into it. I do remember certain stuff. But I'm excited because I'm in a much better headspace to really receive the full vibe of the book now and to not read it so biasedly like sometimes I do. And I really love all the characters, and I'm excited for the plot lines. And I mean, it's a magnificent book. Tomi Adeyemi is a magnificent author, and so I'm super excited to continue this. It's amazing, and I definitely think you should read the first book if you haven't yet. I reviewed it in 2018 when it came out, and I'm excited to be reviewing this soon, even though it's like a year later. So, what are you reading nowadays? If you know what I'm saying, please tell me in the comments because I want to know. I think it's so cool to find out. But anyway, next segment of this video is going to be me telling you how to get over a reading slump, because I was in a reading slump. Like, the last video I made was like 4 or 5 months ago, and that video was me talking about 3 2021 releases that you need to read, which means that the last 2021 release I read like fully. Now technically I did the book that I just reviewed, Sink or Swim, did come out of this year, so technically I'm better than I thought I was. But before that, the last 2021 release I had read, or book I had read, period, really, was back in like February or something, which is insane. And so I was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? This is kind of crazy. I need to get back on track with this. But the thing is that I was actually, I forget because it's been so long that I read a whole bunch of books in January and February. Like, I read, I think in January I read like all Mom and Son books, which was like amazing, and it was like 10 something books. And then in February I read a lot of like just books, period, and a lot of like books with like trans characters and stuff. It was a great month. They were both great months. To start off the year and then to not read anymore for a couple months. But the fact of the matter is that I was in a reading slump. I mean, I had life stuff going on, so it wasn't just like I just can't read, you know, you know. But I did feel like I was kind of straying away from being a reader, which again, I start feeling like that anytime I stop doing something that I love to do so much, which is dumb. Don't convince yourself into that mindset that you somehow are not or not something that is ingrained in your being just because you're not doing it right now, because that's ridiculous. I'll always be a reader. It doesn't matter if I don't pick up a book for 10 years. I'll always be a reader, and so I'm laying that to rest. But anyway, I hadn't read a book in months, and so I think that qualifies as a reading slump because I had tried to read multiple books. Some of the books were too dark for me. I was like, this is not really blessing. Some of the books were like, nah, I don't really want to read this. Again, I started The Cost of Knowing. It's an amazing book. I'm just like, what are you doing? Again, I had a lot of stuff going on, so it's not only me being in a reading slump, but that's a big part of it. And so I just wanted to give you guys some tips on what helped me to get out of it, because now you see I'm reading literally 3 books, and I mean, one of them I started last year, literally read like almost like half of the book, and then restarted because I really wanted to vibe, you know, with the book. And so sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes it takes you to restart a book that you are struggling through, and then if you still care about it and still want to finish it, you know, restart it, and then it kind of renews your love for it, and you kind of get to experience everything again. And, you know, it's just really cool. You can't really go wrong with it. Also, I think maybe getting a new book that you have never read before, or that you have been on your TBR or something like that.